Hi, good morning. I think I have everything set up. What we want to do is set up a VM using VMPlayer to install Server 2008. And what we'll do initially, you can see I have several different VMs over here already in VMPlayer. Workstation is similar. It's not the same, but it's similar. Initially, let's create a new virtual machine. Now I'm going to go ahead and use an installer disk image file, and so that's an ISO. You can go ahead and use the disk that came with your text if you would like to, but I'll go ahead and set this up for an ISO. I need to browse on that because I need to go find my ISOs, and I think I need to go to here. I should scroll up, but I should have ISOs here. Okay, so what we want to choose is the ISO for the, and you've downloaded this, the English Windows Server 2008 Data Center Enterprise and Standard. And of course we want to use the Standard is what we want to install. And we'll go ahead and open that. So that will display that particular ISO in that box. Let's see. We can go here. Now I've got this open. I hope that this will go ahead and copy and paste all in one. Let's try it. Okay, so that should be my Windows product key, and that's right from the IP addresses and VMware links and files on our Moodle site. Okay, now version of Windows to install. We want to install Standard. Okay, we don't want to install Standard Core. That's a GUI-less environment. So just Standard. Full name, and I'm just going to make this. It's seeing my username off of the computer, and that's at HFC or HCF number. I'm just going to call this Sean. Keep it simple. That's great. Password is optional. I'm not even going to put a password in. This is there's no security issues whatsoever involved. If you did put a password in, you can go ahead and set it to log on automatically. I'm going to go to Next, Windows Server 2008, probably Network OS. Okay, might be a virtual name that I wanted to use. Now this is important, the location. By default, it's going to go ahead and put the VMs into this virtual machines directory on the local drive. You are in the lab environment. Now if you're using your notebook, that's absolutely fine. But make sure you know where to find those VMs in order to copy them off and save them onto an external hard drive. In the case in the lab, that drive C is going to be write protected. Okay, so you can save something on there, but the next time it reboots, because of deep freeze, it'll clean it off. So you probably want to redirect this out to your external hard drive initially. The thawed drive is only 4 gigs, so that's not going to work, but you'll have to send it to your external hard drive initially. Okay, I'm going to leave it as a default. Okay, disk capacity, because I'm not going to be adding any or a lot of additional applications, I'm going to change that file size, maximum disk size, to 20 gig. That should be okay. Now, whether to store a virtual disk in a single file or to split it up, it may be easier. It makes it easier to move, I guess, for other computers. So this is 6 of one, half dozen of another for what we're doing. I've usually stored virtual disk as a single file. I'll go ahead and just split virtual disk this time just so I can have some comparisons. Now, this is that new virtual machine wizard. So we're ready to create the virtual machines. Let's go to the customize hardware settings and let me show you around a little bit. So memory, by default, server will take 1 gig. We talked about this in class. If I have a machine that only has 4 gigs of memory on it, a 64-bit processor with 4 gigs of memory, then the native OS, the base OS, will take some of that memory, and then this VM will take some of this memory as well. So you might want to make sure you keep it at a 1 gig at a lower level. If you have 6 or 8 gig on your computer, you might want to jack it up a little bit to 2 gig, 1.5 gig to improve performance perhaps. I'm going to leave it as at the default. In processors, you can change the number of virtual processors on the box, and that'll improve performance. So your base OS will perform poorly, but the VM will be kicked up in speed. So that'll help a little bit. It's kind of a combination of memory and virtual processors. To get the best performance, I probably want to change my virtual memory a little to 1.5 or 2 gig. Now the other thing we want to do is change the network adapter. We want to make this bridged. Now by making this network adapter bridged means we can put an IP address on your server. And that's an important step, because being a server, you'll need to have a target, if you will, an IP address being that target with which clients can actually hit the box. So we want to make this bridged. We should be okay from there. We just go to close and finish. And what we'll see at this point then is, and I've got this little computer here but maxed out just a little bit. It should come here, starting to load Windows, and it'll just take some time to go ahead through the installation steps. Now with this, I think I'll go ahead and just end the video. And those are the steps. That's the process to create a VM for a Server 2008 with VMPlayer. Okay, and as we see here, we're getting to the installation steps. So thank you very much.